creating a news agenda that reflects an unbiased view of Asian current affairs without relying on external news sources. Asia Vision, Asian news through Asian eyes.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to ABN News. I am Mariam Shawshat, here to bring you the global news that matters. In the next half an hour, we'll cover everything from world politics to cultural insights. Stay tuned. Nahdlatul Ulama, Indonesia's largest Muslim organization, PBNU, urges the Israeli military to halt its airstrikes into the Palestinian territory and seek resolutions through international diplomacy.
Speaking in a press conference at the Nahdlatul Ulama's headquarters in Jakarta on Monday, the organization chairman Yahya Khalil Stakuf urged Israel to halt its strikes on Palestine immediately. The Nahdlatul Ulama's call for immediate ceasefire came after Israeli strikes on civilian homes in Deir al-Balah at central Gaza Strip last week. Yahya said Indonesia and other countries should take diplomatic steps at the international level to help create resolutions for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. He explained that such steps are needed to maintain stability and reduce global tension that is currently happening. Yahya said further that Israel has yet to show any initiative to reach peaceful resolutions with Palestine. Even when Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, along with other country leaders, are ready to negotiate with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Meanwhile, Palestinian ambassador to Indonesia Zuhair Al-Shun expressed his hope that all countries that are friends to Palestine, including Indonesia, will perform their best efforts to stop Israel's aggressions against civilians in Palestine.
According to the Ministry of Planning and Investment, as of July, the total newly registered capital, adjusted capital and capital contribution from foreign investors reached more than $18 billion, up 10.9% over the same period last year. Notably, foreign direct investment capital implemented in Vietnam in the past 7 months hit a 5-year high for the same period, reaching $12.55 billion, which is an up of 8.4%.
The revenue of this Korean enterprise in the first 7 months reached about $300 million, up nearly 40% over the same period last year. Positive business results are why this enterprise decided to invest more capital into this 7,000-meter square production factory, equipping it with modern machinery and technology to produce electronic circuit boards. The continuous depreciation of the yen has caused Japanese investors to limit their investment abroad. However, in Vietnam, most Japanese enterprises operating continue to increase capital and expand production, thereby increasing the capital flow in Vietnam. Regarding the capital structure, the processing and manufacturing industry attracted nearly $10 billion, accounting for 79.5% of total FDI. Real estate business activities and the production and distribution of electricity and gas followed. For newly registered capital, the processing and manufacturing industry not only leads in investment attraction but also focuses on high technology. Some industries that the Vietnamese government has prioritized in recent times, such as semiconductors, energy, and electronic component manufacturing, have continued to attract huge investment and created growth momentum for localities. Not only has the number of projects increased, but the average investment capital scale has also been outstanding, reaching more than $5.9 million per project, an increase of 20% over the same period last year. Vietnam remains an attractive destination for global investors, with projections suggesting this year could see a record-breaking $39 to $40 billion in foreign investment.
The land law, housing law and real estate business law is implemented 5 months ahead of schedule.
This stricter legal framework is boosting public confidence in market transparency. Additionally, recent measures to assist people with home loans are expected to spur positive changes in the market. According to data from the State Bank, outstanding debt in real estate sector has surpassed $119 million for the first time, setting a new record. In addition to reduced interest rates and extended preferential periods, housing prices are a key factor. Currently, affordable apartments priced under $1,000 per square meter are scarce. It has been reported that 42% of housing is priced over $160,000, 55% falls between $80,000 to $160,000, and only 3% are priced under $80,000. The focus has shifted from interest rates to whether prices are reasonable and the current lack of supply. People are also awaiting upcoming legal changes which are expected to address supply issues and market imbalances. The new law imposes stricter controls by limiting deposit collections to 5% of the future house price. Real estate developers must secure the rest of the funding from legal sources, helping prevent scenarios where projects are delayed or funds are misused.
Fans are on cloud 9 after Indian men's hockey team has secured a spot in semi-finals after beating Great Britain in the quarter-finals this week Sunday.
Indian hockey team defeated Britain and a fantastic win, and now they are in the semi-finals of the hockey second time in a row. Last time also they were in the semi-finals, and this time around we are hoping that they will change the color of the medal this time around. So today's match fantastic, 10 men, and despite of that, India defeated Britain. How you enjoyed this match? What's your saying on this match?
Yeah, I mean, it's a surreal experience. So we don't follow hockey in general, but then we came to support India, and we are so happy that India pulled it off in the end. I mean, Britain's attack was too good, but then in the opposite side, India's defense was also very good, and special mention to the goalkeeper Srijat. He performed really, really well. So yeah, very happy.
I think in this match, Srijat is the main difference between two teams. As my friend said, he was like India was playing very defensive, and he never let when one penalty corner go inside, and in the shootout he was superb. I think he's playing his last Olympic this time, and I think I really wish he win gold because he deserved nothing less than gold.
The 16th edition of the Biofa Trade Fair sees Commerce Secretary get a first-hand look at the exhibition and the stakeholders of the organic markets.
The 16th edition of the Biofa Trade Fair, which is India's top trade fair for organic, natural and millet industries, saw Commerce Secretary get a first-hand look at the exhibition and the stakeholders in the organic markets. He interacted with the state stalls, especially from the northeast, and listened to the topographical and certification problems faced by the players in the organic industry.
The export market, it is huge. It is about 140 billion US dollars. We can really realize this potential. Currently we are exporting about $500 million of our organic products. I think we should double this in the next 2 to 3 years. Raise it to at least $1 billion of our exports from the organic products.
India's global share in organic markets stand at $142 billion, but the consumption in the Indian FMCG market is now pegged at $167 billion US. The latest numbers from a CRISIL study which was released on the Indian organic industry was published in the Biofa Trade Fair.
Domestic market is this big, and it's expected to further grow at such a good CAGR. Growing to around 12,500 crores by 2033. So that's a tremendous growth. We are doing it above the global average, the growth that is estimated. So I think this is an eye-opener for everybody that not only at export level, at domestic level also the organic is blooming.
The growth journey in the domestic organic market at 17% is a big plus, but India needs to focus more on value-added and retail products. The role of corporate India could be the game changer in the organic products growth story for India, which is also the need of the hour.
ask the corporates to spend the CSR funds, which is 2% of their turnover and profit, on organic and sustainable farming. This will actually ensure that the corporates are involved in the growth story of organic industry.
In 2023-24, India's organic food exports reach approximately $494.8 million. In the next 8 years, India can put 20% under organic farming, with natural and organic farming leading the way. The government's initiatives to boost organic exports with NCOL, dedicated organic division, MRA implementation, trade fairs will help in a big way to help the organic industry's export potential jump to $8.9 billion by 2032. Anil Thomas, DD India, New Delhi.
India's Chief of Defence Staff, Gen Anil Chauhan, chaired an apex-level tri-service financial conference at Manekshaw Centre in New Delhi. The Vice Chief of Indian Navy spoke on the tri-services financial conference and its objectives.
When we are talking about self-reliance, how important is this conference, especially on the financial matter?
I think, as you rightly said, the world is changing very, very fast, not just geopolitically and geo-economically, but also technologically. So is our nation and the position of our nation in the international committee. Our security threats and challenges have always been very, very serious. They are becoming even more complex and complicated today and in the years to come. It is a responsibility of the Indian Armed Forces to think about the future, develop capabilities that will hold the nation in good stead in the years ahead. Defense procurements are very, very complex procedures. They involve the service headquarters and the defense finance. And I think a meeting of this kind that brings the armed forces and the defense finance together.
What kind of issues are being discussed in this conference?
Well, we have a lot of agenda points that we have raised with the finance people. There are a lot of points that they have raised against us, and this is I think, a good forum for us to air all those points, discuss them together, find a way ahead to simplify procedures. We want to simplify procedures, enhance the ease of doing business, understand each other's procedures very well, cut down unnecessary procedures where we need to. But obviously, we need to develop good capability in reasonable time. Sometimes our procurement procedures just stretch for years and years. I think it's in common interest that we find a way of crashing those timelines and getting us good capability. Technology grows very, very fast. Our threats are growing very, very fast. We need to be in a position to maintain a high level of military readiness so that we can respond correctly to the national security challenges, every single day of our lives.
So there you heard the Vice Chief of the Indian Navy, and we need to act very fast, and that is why this integration conference on financial matter is very, very important. With cameraman Aniket Dubey in Delhi, this is Vishal Baristo for DD India.
The latest data from the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO shows that China's World Heritage Sites have grown to 59, manifesting the substantial strides made by the country in World Heritage protection.
The UNESCO recently announced the inclusion of the Beijing Central Axis, a building ensemble exhibiting the ideal order of the Chinese capital, into its World Heritage list, pulling the number of the country's World Cultural Heritage Sites to 40. In addition, there are another 43 projects in China inscribed on the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage list. Since 2012, the central government has invested 600 million yuan, about $83.81 million, to support the monitoring of the World Cultural Heritage Sites and accelerate the implementation of the project for the protection, management and display of these sites. Following the inclusion of the Bedanian Jaran Desert, towers of sand, and lakes and migratory bird sanctuaries along the coast of Yellow Sea Bohai Gulf of China Phase 2 into the World Heritage list, the number of China's World Natural Heritage Sites and Dual Heritage Sites recognized by the UNESCO for both its natural and cultural World Heritage has expanded to 19. China has continued to scale up the systematic construction of the protected areas, composed mainly of national parks, marking significant progress in protecting the World Natural Heritage and Dual Heritage Sites. At present, China's World Natural Heritage and Dual Heritage sites cover an area of 79,000 square kilometers, including more than 100 protected areas such as national parks, nature reserves, and various natural parks, effectively protecting important natural ecosystems and natural monuments.
Space-themed tourism is getting increasingly popular in China's northern regions, including Gansu and Inner Mongolia, where local landscapes resembling Mars provide a unique opportunity for space enthusiasts to fulfill their dream of space exploration.
Known for its vast Gobi Desert, Gansu's Jingshan city has built a Mars simulation survival experience center to resonate with its Mars-like outdoor scenery. The center includes 9 modules such as the main control cabin, biological cabin, and medical cabin, simulating the living and research conditions for astronauts on Mars. Visitors can walk through airlocks and the main control cabin to reach the biological cabin, where they can observe how vegetables are grown on Mars and taste various space foods. The center allows tourists to participate in different trainings that simulate that of astronauts, such as high-G training and rotating training. It also offers science camps for children, allowing them to learn about space through hands-on activities such as environmental surveys, Mars farming, and rocket design. In Inner Mongolia's Ulaanbaatar, the Ulan-Hada volcano group scenic area creates an otherworldly atmosphere, attracting numerous tourists dressed in spacesuits to take photos. The space enthusiasts rent astronaut costumes from various stores. The rental fee for astronaut costume is 80 yuan, about $11 per hour. The daily income can be around 7,000 to 8,000 yuan, about $977 to $1,117. The space-themed tourism has not only boosted the spacesuit rental market, but also the booking of local hotels and sales of specialty foods. Data from C-Trip showed a 59% year-on-year increase in ticket orders for space-related attractions in China and a 48% increase in holiday travel product orders related to space and rockets.
An economist with the University of Indonesia predicts that Indonesia's gross domestic product will grow between 4.97% and 5.01% in the second quarter of this year, which reflects the challenging situation faced by the economy of the country.
Economist Teuku Rifki of the Institute for Economic and Social Research at the University of Indonesia projects that Indonesia will see a slower economic growth in the second quarter in 2024. Despite its year-on-year gross domestic product or GDP at between 4.97% and 5.01% in the second quarter 2024. This is due to the lack of seasonal drivers, global and domestic uncertainties, and the current structural issues. Rifki explains that uncertainty about the future government's policies have caused people to hold back consumption and investors to be in wait-and-see mode. Meanwhile, the transition period to the new government and the uncertainty of the Federal Reserve's policy have also triggered capital outflows, which has an impact on the rupiah depreciation by 6.33% until the end of June 2024. Indonesia's trade surplus reached at around $8.04 billion, driven by increased global demand and rising commodity prices. The GDP growth was also driven by increased investment realization, with a total of foreign investment worth of 217.3 trillion rupiah, up to 6.3% compared to last year. Despite the complex challenges, Indonesia's GDP growth in the second quarter of 2024 still shows positive potential, with an estimated rate of between 4.97% and 5.01%. The trade and investment sectors will expectedly to continuously drive the country's economy.
The Indonesian government is hoping to attract investments to human resources development as the country needs to play catch-up with future challenges, especially in digital technology. According to the government, the plan has to go hand in hand with its current efforts of pushing onshore downstreaming for mining industries.
The coordinating minister for the economic affairs, Erlangga Hartarto, said in a statement in Jakarta that he had met with chairman of China Tsinghua University, Professor Chiu Yong, in a breakfast meeting to discuss about initiatives to develop human resources in Indonesia. The focus of discussion is to improve quality of Indonesian talents in technology and innovations, as the country needs to catch up with digital economic growth in the future. Erlangga said Indonesia needs to become an advanced country in 2045 with income per capita at $26,000 and gross domestic product at $9 trillion. In order to achieve the target, Indonesia needs to build quality education centers, including in technology and innovations. At the same time, Erlangga said he hopes Tsinghua University can invite more Indonesian students and provide special training for future talents in semiconductor industry, which is essential for digitalization and electric vehicle ecosystem. Furthermore, Erlangga hoped China can be Indonesia's partner in strategic sectors such as technology, energy, and climate change. In particular, he says Tsinghua University can help accelerate development of Indonesian human resources in technology.
And with that, we conclude this edition of ABN News. Thank you all for watching. Hoping you all enjoyed the stories and insights we shared. From all of us here in PSM News, we bid you a good night.
Creating a news agenda that reflects an unbiased view of Asian current affairs without relying on external news sources. Asia Vision, Asian news through Asian eyes.